All right, good day everyone. Okay, our freshman students, hello, and welcome to the first lesson we have on your subject CEN1 or purposive communication. Okay, before we start with the discussion proper about purposive communication in English, okay, it is important and relevant for us to be aware that now that we are in college, we need to be, you know, um, incorporated, okay, with a new knowledge when it comes to our language competency. So what I'm about to share to you today is very important for our department. Okay, this is professional English for college students, and since you are now entering as freshmen this school year, I want us to be aware what kind of language should we project once we are now here in the tertiary level. So for our set objectives, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the lesson, students are expected to define the ideas of professional English, identify what are the correct forms of common slurred words, listen how liaison works to sound more articulate, and then identify Philippinisms and how we can at least, avoid them, and then practice sounding more polished in response to basic questions in day-to-day conversation. So what's in it for you? Why do you need to be aware about this? Well, it's very important, okay? Because sounding, not just appearing, okay? Sounding professional in school can be very important for your career and job situations. Whenever you are interacting with clients here and abroad, okay, whether that be a customer or a simple clientele, okay, especially that you are in the tourism and hospitality industry, you should appear and at the same time sound professional. And the way to do this, okay, you need to pay close attention to the details of the words you utter, you say, okay, the manner of tone you project, and this is entirely different with the way you talk with your fellow students in the academy. So it's different, okay, when you're talking to a friend, when you're talking to your teacher, to the dean, to the registrar, to the president of the school. It's a different matter, okay? So you may be asking, what is professional English? Okay, how do we sound professional? You see? Well, basically, the definition is that professional English is the standard business tone in oral and written communication using the English language. Okay, it's the standard business tone, whether you write or you speak using English as a matter of communication. Now, it pertains to simple, not highly technical, okay, because you don't need to sound the King of England anyway. But the thing is, it pertains to simple, base, easy to understand version of the theme, which is totally opposite to other people think. In Tagalog, allow me to speak. Ang akala kasi ng iba, kapag nagsasalita ka ng English, tunog elitista ka, pasosyal. May hindi magandang stigma sa pandinig ng iba at sa attitude ng iba ang pagsasalita ng English, lalong higit sa lahat sa paaralan. Okay? Kaya kailangan nating baguhin yung mentalidad niya. We have to change that kind of mentality. Because like I said, ngayon na first year pa lang kayo, kaya lang kayo magsisimula mag-practice, magsalita ng English. Okay? There's no problem about me using the language whenever I talk because I'm used to it. I've been doing this for my entire career. Right? So what I'm concerned about is you guys because of all people, okay, and din sa amin na maliit ko yung ibang mga courses, but the thing is, we have here criminology, yeah, maybe yung psychology, IT, isa kayo sa mga kurso. You're one of those courses, those people who really needs to integrate this kind of language to your sense of professionalism. That's why you need this. Okay? Now, how to sound professional? Okay? How to sound professional. So, to sound more professional, okay, when you use English, it's not just you speak. Okay, yeah, you have to follow some very simple remarks to make life easier for you when you are here in college. Okay, you have to sound more intelligent. It's number one. More powerful, more polished, more articulate, and last is more confident. So these are the five important things you have to remember in order to sound professional. Let's start with to sound more intelligent. Sounding more intelligent allows you to speak a bit slower. Okay, this is contrary to popular belief that when you speak in English, to sound more professional and more, cool, is you have to sound fast. No, that's wrong. It's totally wrong. Remember that we are not English speaking people. That's a fact. All right? That's a fact. We are not English speaking people. So, as a start, now that you're in college and you're trying to learn and discover the language better, so you need to use it. But of course, it doesn't happen overnight that you start waking up, talking like me. that's impossible. All right? But whenever you are asked to speak the language, when I, ask you to speak the language, what I mean is practice speaking English. Doesn't need to be fast, but slow. Carefully choosing the words that you would like to utter. At least it sounds more sincere that way. Okay? Because you pick the right words. You try to pick for the right words for you to express yourself better. So, to sound more intelligent does not mean that you speak fast. To sound more intelligent is speaking slow. Okay? The second way of sounding more professional is to sound powerful. When sounding powerful, okay, use short, simple declarative statements or sentences. What do we mean? Again, contrary to popular belief, okay, a lot of people think that speaking English requires you to use, highfalutin words. What do you mean by highfalutin words? In Tagalog, yung mga mabubulaklak na salita. Hindi ganun. Well, it's good that if you can use one or two adjectives at a time, but it doesn't mean that you have to, lengthen, sound nambubola. Okay? You have to sound sincere, like I said. Short, simple, but true. Next is to sound more polished. This is very important. Okay? Not a lot of people can be polished. What do you mean by sounding more polished? Sounding more polished means don't just simply answer a blunt question directly. It doesn't work that way. Like, what's your name? Pedro. Where do you live? Santa Maria, Bulacan. No, it doesn't work that way. So, sounding more polished, okay, requires you to, append short phrases of clarification. Okay? This is what I'm telling my students. Always use the statement to say back what you want to express. Like, for example, okay, did you see my pencil? No, I didn't see it. Instead of saying no. Right? Okay? Do you know his number? No. Do you know his number? Yes. Why not say, yes, I know, Mary. Yes, I know, sir. Yes, I know, ma'am. You see? That's sounding more polished. Okay? Later on, we're going to have some exercises regarding how you sound more polished. In our Zoom meeting, we'll check how you answer questions like I posted here. Okay, I've posted several questions here, so you better prepare how you would answer them in a more polished tone. Like for example, what course are you taking in college? So instead of saying HRRO or tourism po, it doesn't sound professional. It's better when you say like I'm taking up BS tourism. That sounds better. That sounds more professional, polished. Okay? So prepare for this because I might be calling your attention once we get a better, connection, and I can hear you speak at least once in a while. So better prepare. Okay, let's have a quick recap. Okay, what are those things that allows us to sound more professional? Sounding more. Number one is more intelligent, more powerful, more polished, and now more articulate. Now, being articulate doesn't mean that you speak like a British or an Australian. Okay, like I said, there is such a thing as Filipino Standard English. Okay, there's Filipino English, and that's not wrong. It's acceptable. It's a it's a living phenomenon. Okay, the same thing as when there's an Indian English. Okay, thank you for calling Customer Service. Abu Dhabi. DVD. See? So being articulate allows us to carry distinct sounds and pay close attention to sounds that we utter. We Filipinos are very good at this, given the proper training, given the proper, push motivation. Okay, everybody can achieve this kind of articulation, sounding the T sound, the F sound, So it allows us to sound more professional that way. Instead of saying account, you say account. Do you hear that? Instead of saying discount, where the T is so flat, you say discount. Discount. Instead of saying accept, instead of the P, you say the T, because it's the sound at the end. Okay, accept. There you go. You see? So akala nyo sa una, napaka-arte, di ba? But the thing is, yun ang tama eh. Yun talaga yung tinuro sa school. Maaaring tulog ka nun o absent ka nung tinuturo ng speech teacher mo yan. Okay? So remember, in speech, we have learned to distinguish the alphabet from the sound system. It's different. Okay? So sounding more articulate may not be that easy, but it can be learned. And given the proper training, exposure, right motivation, you can do it. And then last is to sound more confident. Okay, sounding more confident means learn how to carry yourself. Don't slouch. Keep your body up, okay? That chin up, okay? As if you're holding a crown, something like that. Keep your elbows, So for me, in my situation, it's hard because I don't have a backrest. But the thing is, stay confident by way of your posture. That's very important. Be careful about your posture. So we'll continue more about this shortly, so don't go away. There's a second part onto this lesson. Stay tuned.